I don't know enough about Israel. What I do know is this. Since I've been an adult and since I've been paying attention to politics, Israel has never done anything I've ever thought was weird. I've never looked at the state of Israel, and I'm a born again Christian. I've been baptized. I know the word. If the current state of Israel doesn't belong there, then where did the ones that do go? Like, when you start to think, the whole Jew equals bad argument falls apart because it's retarded. Did they just disappear off the face of the planet? Do they not exist anymore? Of course they do. That's where they are. There might be, like, people take one video of some retarded ass rabbi saying something crazy, and they're like, see, look, they hate Christians. They're not God's chosen people. The pastor of my church was just in Israel right before the bombing. Praise God, he was able to come home. But he was in Tel Aviv the day before Iran, or the day before Israel launched an attack to Iran's nuclear facility. He was there for 2 weeks, and I talked to him personally because I told him that I make political content, and I wanted to talk to him when he got back because this is a really, hot subject at the moment. What he told me about the conspiracies against Israel is all BS. He said it's all BS. He said he was in the streets talking to these people about Jesus, and none of them were hostile. They all knew that he was. He actually was able to meet with the Jewish ambassador for the United States. His name is what's his last name? Keith something. His Instagram is Finding Keith, but he's the pastor of Journey Church in where I am currently living. Keith Kirkpatrick. So he was talking to me about this stuff, and he was saying that it's all lies. It's all a fabrication from people that hate Israel. They hate Israel so much that they want to manipulate the image of them to draw people away from God. Because if you read the word, especially in Revelations, it says that after Jesus comes back, the veil will be lifted from over the Jewish people's eyes of the ones that denied Jesus. It's biblical. So it's not so simple as, Israel doesn't believe in Jesus or they're the synagogue of Satan. It's not like that. People are so biblically illiterate, and they watch some reposted documentary from some Hitler apologist on Twitter and think that they cracked the code and think that, oh my gosh, Israel is a synagogue of Satan. No, it's not. Talk to people that live there. Talk to people that have actually gone there and spoken to these people and learn the culture about what they're doing. Don't just see all these people resharing this stuff about Israel being bad and buy it. Because remember, in the last days, there will be false prophets. That is very, very clear in Revelation, that there will be false prophets among us to confuse us in the last days. And that's exactly what these people are doing. These people that are trying to portray this false narrative against the state of Israel, that they're evil and that they're these crazy puppet masters, like controlling the strings of United States politicians. That's not true. It's a fabrication of reality. And what's very unfortunate is that people are so gullible that they buy this stuff and they take it at face value, and they don't think for themselves. They don't think, why is this happening? Why right now, in the last days, when we know that Jesus is coming back, when the world is in a constant state of psychotic nose diving into debauchery, when there's Christians getting persecuted and gunned down in Africa, and we're seeing the prophetic time clock wind down, and we know that time is running out for salvation, and then all of a sudden in the last 5 years, there's just this giant explosion of Jew-hating rhetoric, Jew-bad rhetoric, when it's been that they are God's chosen people for the like eternity of the church age. And all of a sudden in the last 5-10 years I'm supposed to think otherwise? Absolutely not. That is hogwash. No sir. And it's horrible because people hate Israel so much, and they've been lied to so much, and they're so gullible and stupid because the Democrats hijacked the education system to make everybody retarded, that they're so gullible that they take this at face value and don't think for themselves. And now they're flying Iranian flags and they're cosplaying oppression, and these stupid white liberals are acting like they're doing something good. They're on the right side of history, like they're freedom fighters for running defense for a psychotic Islamic regime that goes completely and utterly against everything that they say that they stand for, which is LGBT rights, women empowerment, socially charitable and equitable resource programs to lower income areas. What about that does the current Islamic regime represent? Absolutely nothing. They are completely devoid of any liberal values. But these people are retarded. They're retarded and they've been brainwashed. And, it's largely their fault, but it also isn't, because they've had education weaponized against them to make them this stupid. But a psychotic Islamic state that actually stones gay people to death in 2025, treats women like actual animals, treats them like cattle. They can't go outside unless they're completely and utterly covered. They get abused by their husbands. They want to act like America was so bad and men were beating their wives in the 60s. What the hell do you think is happening right now in current present day Iran under this leadership? Are you out of your mind? How retarded, what kind of a retarded comparison is that to make? It's outrageous. Hypocritical gays for Hamas gotta be the dumbest shit ever. Yes, bro. It's unbelievable. Queers for Palestine. They will hang you and laugh. They will light you on fire. Yeah, people make the anti-Semitism argument, but if I don't know, I haven't experienced that at all, man. I've experienced the exact. If you talk about any marginalized group of people, or if I wanted to make the videos about black people that I make now on Instagram before Trump won, I would get my account terminated. I would get a community guideline strike. And on TikTok right now, you can't talk critical of anybody or anything. I can't make videos about niggas. I can't make videos about liberals. And you damn sure can't make videos about gay people. They will delete the video, give you a guideline strike, or they will mute the audio so that nobody can hear anything of the gays. It's bananas. But also, be critical of Israel for what? What noteworthy? I don't know how old you are. I assume you're around my age, around, I don't know, 17 to 25. What in the world has Israel done, or Jewish people done, that you have what's the terminology I want to use? Not acknowledged. Dragged us into conflicts we didn't need to get into. That's, again, not true. First of all, they're one of our greatest allies for defense. They have an incredible intelligence agency that shares us plenty of very, very valuable information in the Middle East. So they are an asset. We trade with them for two. And Israel could not exist, and Iran having a bomb would be a problem. A nuclear weapon. This Iranian regime, they are insane. And people could try to say, oh, they've been saying that they have bombs for they're close to a nuke. They've been saying that for 30 years. Yeah, because what the hell do you think happens when they tell us that? We go in with the IDF and we stop them. So then they have to start over. So that's again a retarded argument. Iran, this current regime, hates America. Also, it's not because we meddled in the Middle East. That's not what it is. They hate us because of the fact that we're allies with Israel. Because they hate Israel. That's the foundation of it. So they hate us by proxy. And the fact that we fund them makes them hate us because they feel like if we were disenfranchised, Israel would be disenfranchised. They don't hate us because we meddled in their affairs. They hate us. They already hated us because of Israel. Because we're allied with them. That's where the hatred came from in the first place. Us meddling in the Middle East, that was insult to injury. That's not where it stems from. And I'm not saying that you are defending Iran. I know that. But you also shouldn't try and spin it like Israel is somehow at fault for us being currently at odds with Iran. Because they're not. They didn't drag us into a conflict. They already hated us. They chant death to America and burn our flag and stomp it out. And you want those psychotic nutballs that hang women in the street for showing their hair to have a nuclear weapon? No. They are crash outs. They have 60% enriched uranium verified by a third-party source. That's not Israel's fault. That's their fault for wanting to build a freaking nuclear weapon. They have enough to make like 5. So yeah, something had to be done. Because Trump tried to get them to negotiate to stop trying to make a nuclear weapon. And what did they do? They bullshitted past 61 days. Trump gave them another extension. He was like, yeah, y'all want to talk? Y'all want to talk this time? They still said no. Oh, it's Israel's fault. Israel dragged us into the conflict. What? You have to be retarded to think that. You would have to be retarded to think that Iran somehow acquiring a nuclear weapon and necessitating us to go stop them is somehow the fault of Israel. It's not. They're just crazy. That's it. It's not Israel's fault that they're nutballs. And also, everybody wants to talk about Israel for the attacks in Gaza, on Palestine. Guess what? Hamas is a horrible terrorist organization. They went and slaughtered innocent Jewish people, and they kidnapped people and abducted them and did horrible, unspeakable atrocities to them. What do they go and do? Because they're pathetic terrorist coward rats. They go and use innocent people as meat shields. Israel retaliates. Hamas persecutes. That's what they do. They are evil, psychotic people that hunt the innocent. Israel had to respond, and war is hell. Sorry, that's just reality. Israel's not some unique evil for bombing Gaza. They had no choice. Everybody wants to blame Israel instead of blaming Hamas, who's funded by who? Who, J-Jutsu? Iran. What are we talking about right now? Exactly. It's not... this whole Jew equals bad idea is bananas. It's not their fault. These people are just crazy. That's it. This psycho regime are just a bunch of nutcases that have been in power for generations. Ever since the late 70s, they hijacked Iran and turned it into something that is evil, that's satanic. I'm not even a shill for Israel. I don't have any unique loyalty or agency to Israel other than the fact that that's what it says in the Word of God. I don't like... realistically, I'm an American. What happens in Israel has nothing to do with me. I've never been to Israel. I don't even know a Jewish person on a first name basis. But what I do know is right and wrong and good and evil. And I can acknowledge when someone is being set up. And Israel has become a punching bag for political detractors for a while now. It's like anything that bad happens at the US, oh, it was Jews. You know the Jews did it, right? I made a post about black people crying about slavery, and people were in the comments saying, actually, you know the Jews actually owned all the slaves back in the slave trade. What? What the hell are you saying? That's just the illogical, dumb shit that people say because they have freaking Israel derangement syndrome. They just want to just blame it. Like, what are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. And then acting like they're the worst nation ever and they deserve to get lambasted with all this hate for October 6th. They had to do something. We needed to attack Iran. My conservative friends argue why we shouldn't rely on Israel. I see both points. We don't rely on Israel for anything. Israel relies on us. Israel relies on us militarily and financially, and we rely on them logistically and politically, because the IDF has murdered all of this Iranian regime's top military commanders as soon as they said that they were going to. It is a lethal fighting force. They are very, very talented at what they do. I don't know how, but they are. Probably because they're God's chosen people and they've been protected since the beginning of time. Maybe that's why. They just have. I don't know, but I'm not God, and neither is anybody else with an opinion on this matter. So people just they talk about it so confidently. It's crazy. What's that acronym mean? I haven't seen that one. Is that some new speak I'm not privy to? Goyim? It's not even it's not even like, it's not like he has like a Jewish girlfriend, so he's going extra hard for Israel. No. I have no like unique loyalty to Israel. All I know is what the Word of God says, for one, and two, I feel like they've been set up. That's it. Well, oh, what the hell, you dirty bastard. You bitch! Charlie Kirk tries to justify it with theology of why it's like our obligation to protect Israel. I have no interest in that. I'm not concerned with that. All I know is that since I've been an adult, basically means a term used by a Jewish person for a non-Jewish person. Oh, like, oh, I see what you mean. But since I've been paying attention to politics, I've never seen Israel ever do anything weird where I was like, what the hell is wrong with these people? That's never happened. I know that we're in the last days and that there will be false prophets among us. So I acknowledge that fact. Before I make the Jew bad claim, I'm trying to sound like a dumbass. Well, if people have a legitimate reason that you can fact check and examine, that's one thing. But every single argument is speculative. All of it is like a theory. It's like, oh, this verse says this in this interpretation, so that means they're the synagogue of Satan. That's not convincing, bro. That's not convincing at all. You got to do better than that. Oh, the Jews, they fund all the trans shit in America. The Jews fund it, right? They fund it. Then why in the world are we like almost half of their economy? What are you talking about? Then why are they financially dependent on us? That doesn't make any sense. That's retarded. I'm not calling you retarded individually. I'm just saying the idea is retarded. They allegedly, I haven't researched that myself, so I'm very ignorant on that topic, so I have no idea if they actually do own porn industries. If they do, I would look into, is it like some corporate Jewish owned conglomerate, or does the CEO just happen to be Jewish, so people are like, oh my gosh, the Jews that control all the porn? Like, people take it so extreme. They're so extreme with the rhetoric. They see one retarded rabbi come out and say that it's okay to do bad things to little girls, and then they are like, this one person is now representative of every single Jewish person on the planet. That's crazy. That's like seeing a racist white person and saying every single white person the exact same way, or a black person running in a grocery store and robbing them at gunpoint and assuming every single black person. It's crazy. But if it is a giant corporate conglomerate of like only like Jewish in trading, then that's weird. Then that's something to look into. That's something that is like, that's valid, and it's like, why is that? That's very strange. Are there layers to this? Let's find out if there's layers to this. But if it's just one big ass company that owns a bunch of smaller companies and the CEO is just a Jewish guy, then that's kind of crazy to paint all the Jews own porn. It's just a random Jewish guy that owns a bunch of porn. Very different. I beat his ass. Hey, what's up, Zuki? Hey, my fault, bro. Last night, I had a weird setting on my OBS. Sorry, I was looking at your message and not looking at the camera.